Well, it was devastating because my whole life was turned upside down. So the consequences were severe, and I wish I had listened to my body a little bit earlier, because I was getting symptoms. Lots of different aches and pains and problems, and my life was slowly becoming this quite dark place. And I guess I didn't see it because it was a slow process. And then it got to the point where I kept trying to push on and not listen to what was going on, and then bang, I couldn't basically do anything. I couldn't work. I had to remove myself from my family, my job. I walked away from my business and could only survive by being very isolated on my own, trying to cope with it, which of course was foolish, but they were the consequences and what depression made me do. To try and deal with this, the shame and the embarrassment of this debilitating illness I had, I ran to the far ends of the earth to try and find a magic potion that would heal me straight away. So, you know, I saw a lot of therapists, a lot of healers rather than therapists, you know, searching for that magic bullet, but it's just, and of course it didn't work. There isn't a magic bullet to get you out of depression. You need to do a lot of work and see a lot of people who are experienced in dealing with depressed people to get out. The man that accompanies myself in the book is an interesting character, because for me, he represented that little spark of hope, or that little spark of desire to recover, to get well. But he can also be many other characters, and for me he was also a helping character. He is a type of a therapist, if you like, but I think at his essence he represented hope. I think being with good people is so simple, it's so fundamental. It can be a wonderful way of coping, of getting support, of beginning that journey out of depression. If you're around good people who understand, who will listen to you, you can express yourself to, it can be a wonderful support, very important. I think depression is a journey. It's not just an illness that you've got to sort of nail, and you've like an infection. You take an antibiotic, deal with the infection, and you're right, carry on with your life. Depression for me, and for many people who perhaps get it, particularly if they've ignored the symptoms and they get in their midlife, there's a whole history of things that have gone on that have led to the depression. You need to embark on the journey of finding out why you're depressed and dealing with the bigger issues, and it will usually mean quite significant life changes. But for me it was wonderful. I'm so pleased I did that. There was a lot of damage along the way. I wish I'd done things a bit differently, like getting help earlier, but it's a journey that I'm very pleased I embarked on, and it means now I live a very different life, a very well life, and there's so much richness and colour in life. I'm very pleased I did embark on this journey. I wrote it as a graphic novel because when I was depressed I couldn't read, so that was at sort of basic level. But for me it was a way that I could actually have a conversation with depression. I could see it, describe it, because depression is such an all-enveloping thing that sort of takes over you and you don't know what's happening. So the graphic novel allowed me to express, describe, and face my depression in a very real way. It really helped me as part of my getting well. I seem to have connected with people. The response to the book has been really positive. By telling my own story very honestly, I seem to have connected with people, and that is lovely. I think the biggest message I would give to people out of the book, from my own journey and in the book, is to not deal with this illness on your own. It's too big an issue, it's too gnarly, it's too complex and difficult, and it does things to you which you can't understand. You need help, you need support, and you need a lot of it to get well.